Okay, so let's dive into this account. It's pretty out there. Imagine waking up one morning, right? Your own bed, own house.
Mm-hmm. Familiar surroundings.
Totally. And then suddenly nobody knows who you are. Like complete strangers.
Yeah, that instant jarring loss of everything, your identity, your connections. It's terrifying.
Exactly. And that's the core of the story we're examining today. It comes from the personal notes of Caleb Ray Dutton, or Cale, as people knew him.
Right. And it all kicks off in Bucksnort, Tennessee, July 12th, 2022. He calls it the moment his world just hit reset. But only for him.
Yeah, so our mission here is to look at the evidence he gathered, like right as it was happening. The proof that he wasn't just forgotten, but actively
Erased, systematically erased, yeah, from history.
Cale's 34, works at the local cafe, the Bucksnort Café. Just a normal day starting, smell of bacon, coffee.
Usual routine.
He walks towards the kitchen, probably ready with some joke for his mom.
And that's where it starts. Not with some big public event, but right there at home.
With his mother and his dog. The two anchors, you'd think.
Absolutely. That's what makes the initial shock so powerful.
So he goes into the kitchen, still in his boxers apparently, expecting the usual banter about burnt bacon.
A running joke, he says.
Right. But his mama just freezes. And it's not anger, not panic. It's this weird politeness.
Exactly. Detached courtesy. He describes it perfectly. Polite. The way you talk to a stranger at the Piggly Wiggly.
That's chilling. Because if she'd yelled, you might think, okay, maybe something's wrong with her.
But this calm non-recognition, it suggests that in her reality, he's just some random guy who walked into her kitchen.
So he panics, tries to trigger a memory. He throws out this specific story.
The Oldsmobile incident. Senior year, donuts in the church parking lot. A shared specific memory.
Yeah, something undeniable, you'd think. But she just looks at him blankly, doesn't register.
And tells him, sir, I think you got the wrong house. Just like that.
Man. But, okay, maybe, just maybe, it's still somehow about his mom, right? Stroke, amnesia.
Well, that's where the dog comes in. Bo, the coonhound. And I think this is crucial.
Cale makes a point about Bo. Known him since he was a puppy, slept on his chest during storms. That kind of bond.
Exactly. The dog is almost like the control group here. A dog's recognition isn't about complex memory or psychology. It's more primal, instinctual. Scent, presence.
And Bo's reaction.
Pure threat response. Growling low, hackles up. Treats Cale, his owner, like a coyote sniffing around the chicken coop.
Wow. Okay. So the dog confirms it's not just memory loss. Cale himself is somehow wrong. Fundamentally different.
Yes. He doesn't register as pack or home anymore. That biological validation is maybe even more devastating than his mother's reaction.
And that's it. He's out. He literally backs away, trips over his mom's garden gnomes.
The ones with the bless this mess plaque, he notes, which is just painfully ironic.
Lands in the grass, looking back at his own house like an outsider. Physically ejected.
So what's the next logical step if your home base is compromised?
You go public. You need validation from the wider community. Surely everyone can't be wrong.
Right. He throws on some clothes and heads into town. He calls it the 5-minute walk that took 34 years. He's searching for consensus reality.
Trying to find someone, anyone, who still recognizes him to prove they're the anomaly, not him.
But Bucksnort seems unified in its amnesia about Cale Dutton. First stop, the BP station. Miss Loretta.
Someone who's known him forever, since he was in diapers, taught him the two-step. Deep history there.
And her reaction.
Brutal! Young man, I don't know you from Adam's house cat. Then she actually locks her car doors.
Oof. Treating him like a potential threat.
And then, just to twist the knife, his cousin's little girl, Ellie Grace, points and calls him a hobo.
So in just a short time, he's gone from resident to vagrant in his own town. It's incredibly rapid degradation of status.
The real test, though, has to be the Bucksnort Café, right? His workplace, where everybody knows him, or should.
Precisely. This is the social hub. If he's erased here, it's comprehensive.
He heads straight for Jenny Rae, his best friend. Since 3rd grade, he says. Carved initials in the water tower. First kiss. The kind of shared history you just don't forget.
That bedrock friendship. Surely she'll know him.
Nope. She calls him Han, which he knows is what she calls strangers. Tourists, mostly. Generic politeness again.
That consistent denial across different relationship types. Family, casual acquaintance, best friend. It's statistically damning.
He gets desperate, grabs her wrist, starts listing their memories.
It's probably the worst thing he could do in that situation.
Yeah, she panics, pulls away, tells Travis, his other best friend, to call the sheriff.
And Travis is ready to do it. weren't scale to leave.
So now he's not just unknown, he's actively perceived as dangerous, a potential criminal, a trespasser in his own life.
And the whole cafe is watching all these familiar faces, people he's known forever, staring like he's, what does he say? A glitch in the matrix.
Yeah. That's the moment. Public rejection complete. Socially, legally.
Yeah.
Gone.
So the human element has failed him utterly. Where does he turn next?
To things. Physical proof. Artifacts. If people's minds can be changed, maybe objects hold the truth.
The smart move. He goes back to his room looking for tangible evidence of his own existence.
But what he finds just confirms the erasure, maybe even more disturbingly.
How so?
His driver's license. The photo. It's blank, just white space where his face should be. But his name is still there.
Wait, blank photo, but the name remains.
Ah.
That's odd. It's not just decay or damage. It suggests targeted removal.
Yeah,
Editing.
exactly. And then, the high school yearbook. He finds his spot under the caption, Class Clown, and where his picture should be. Again, just empty white space. The description is there, the context, but the subject and miniature is deleted.
So the historical record itself has been actively manipulated, scrubbed clean of his image. This isn't forgetting, this is rewriting.
Which brings us to maybe the most compelling piece of evidence. He calls it the Polaroid paradox.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the paradox?
It's an old Polaroid from 2011. Him and his dad fishing, sitting on the tailgate of the old Chevy.
A specific documented moment in time.
And crucially, on the back, his mom wrote in cursive, Kale and Daddy, best day ever. 7/3/11.
Ah, so textual confirmation. It explicitly names him as being present in that captured moment.
Right. But the photo itself, the image,
Let me guess.
his dad's there, smiling at nothing. Just empty space on the tailgate next to him.
Wow.
Where Kale should be, there's just background, sky and lake, he says.
Okay, so this is huge. The mechanism, whatever it is, removed his physical presence from the image.
But it missed the text, the metadata. His mom's handwriting confirming he was there still exists.
That inconsistency is key. It's like a flaw in the override process.
Yeah.
The visual is erased, but the linguistic record remains. That's a major clue about how this erasure works. It's powerful, but maybe not perfect.
So he's grappling with this, the finality of it, the sheer weirdness, and then he finds something else.
What now?
Something physical, tangible, tucked behind the headboard of his bed. A crumpled piece of paper. It's a receipt from the Bucksnort Café. And the handwriting, it's his own Osh. He recognizes it immediately. That distinctive E loop.
His own handwriting.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah.
a message from himself.
Exactly. It seems like the Kale who was erased somehow left a note for the Kale who woke up lost. A bridge across.
Yeah.
Whatever happened.
Okay, what does it say? This could change everything.
Verbatim, it reads, if you're reading this, Kale, it worked. Don't trust the mirrors after midnight. Meet me at the water tower. Come alone. See?
Well, okay, let's unpack that. It worked.
Yeah, that jumps right out. Worked. What work? It implies this whole erasure was intentional, maybe even initiated by him, by the original Kale.
That's a massive implication. He wasn't a victim of some random cosmic event, but potentially the architect of his own disappearance for some unknown reason.
And then, don't trust the mirrors after midnight. What does that even mean? Is his reflection wrong? Or dangerous? Does reality get unstable after dark?
It suggests something about his current state, or perhaps the fragility of this new reality. Maybe looking in a mirror reveals the glitch, or attracts unwanted attention. It's cryptic, but clearly a warning.
And the signature. Justy, so if the guy reading the note is Kale, who is the C who wrote it?
It sets up a paradox, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is he meeting himself? A past version? A future version? Someone existing outside this altered timeline? It implies communication across different reality states.
So this note shifts everything. He grabs his dad's old flashlight, a mag light,
A solid, reliable object from the before time.
and heads out towards the water tower. The old one, rusty ladder, covered in graffiti from decades ago. A landmark of Bucksnort's past.
A fixed point in a shifting reality.
And as he's walking, he notices the fireflies blinking, describes them like tiny SOS signals.
A nice evocative image.
And he has this realization. He says the story suddenly stops being about him losing his name
And starts being about what?
and starts being about the whole town losing its soul.
So the focus shifts from personal erasure to potentially something much bigger, affecting all of Bucksnort. The reset might have deeper consequences.
It definitely broadens the scope, makes it much darker.
Okay, so let's recap the evidence trail Kale followed. It's almost like a Blueprint for proving you exist when reality says you don't.
Yeah, first the core emotional bonds, mother-dog.
Yeah.
That confirms the biological instinctual level of non-recognition.
Then, the public sphere, the townspeople, friends, colleagues, that establishes the systemic consensus. Everyone agrees you don't belong.
And finally, the physical artifacts license, yearbook, and especially that Polaroid, that shows the active editing of the historical record.
And crucially, the Polaroid reveals the flaw in the system, the lingering metadata, the text description that contradicts the altered image. That's the crack in the new reality.
It's a disturbingly thorough process of erasure, do documents.
So the final cliffhanger is this meeting at the water tower, orchestrated by C. The big question isn't just who is Kale anymore.
Right, it's what happened and why. And what does it work to mean?
And maybe the most provocative question, thinking about that Polaroid, is about the scale of this thing. Was Kale only erased locally within Bucksnort's reality bubble?
Or did that phrase, "it worked," signify something bigger? Like, was he wiped from everything, everywhere, and Bucksnort is just where he somehow reappeared or re-entered?
Exactly. Is Bucksnort the container for the anomaly or just the point of origin for a much wider reality edit? That distinction is critical.
And the answer presumably is waiting up that rusty ladder.
Right.
Let's see.